What's up, guys? It's the Ginger
and the Bear,
and y'all, we are breaking down how Jon Jones can smash Dominick Reyes this weekend, but this is not our prediction video. That'll be tomorrow. Regardless, make sure you smash that like button harder than if Jones institutes these principles, he will smash Reyes. Jon Jones has been fighting for a long ass time. Why hasn't he been beaten yet? It's because he presents really unique problems that it's almost impossible to game plan.
Well, and he's a freak too, right?
And train for.
So tall, so lanky.
And
he's good and close range.
Yeah, which is incredibly unusual for a long fighter. So, we know that Jones fights incredibly well on the outside. We know he fights incredibly well on the inside. We know that what does Dominick Reyes brings to the table that could trouble Jones? First of all, Dominick Reyes has a great left hand and good
left high kick
boxing and a good high kick, right? Now, I think that one of the main things that Jones should and will look to do is shoot a knee tap, because he really likes to do this when he's in an open engagement. Reyes is a southpaw. Jones will move back and forth, but he's primarily an orthodox fighter. And it's really easy with his freakishly long reach to essentially just reach down. He doesn't really even need to level change. Yeah. And he'll be in fighters' kicking range, doesn't need to even reach down, change his level. So he's not super susceptible to counter strikes. And he'll reach up to frame and protect himself with his backhand. His front hand will go down to the knee. And it's not even an actual takedown. It's basically a fake just to institute a clinch. You saw this against Gustafsson. You saw this against Teixeira. Jones uses it a lot. Then, I think what you'll see, since Reyes is such, not a one-note thing, but his best asset is definitely his left hand, and Jones loves to try to take away his opponent's best weapons. He's one of the only MMA fighters to actually fight with this strategy.
And yeah, go ahead.
And you see him use this technique again against Glover, against Gustafsson. If Reyes is ever lazy about the clinch, especially off of this knee tap exchange where Jones basically grabs the knee, grabs the head, and just goes up the body. It's almost like a TSA agent frisking somebody for explosives. If Reyes is lazy with the underhook, Jones will wrench it.
Yeah.
And if he's able to effectively wrench Reyes' left hand, I think virtually any chance of Reyes winning the fight goes out the window.
And there's also another thing, the fact that, and you saw this when Jones was fighting against OSP, another tall southpaw.
Yeah.
You know, he's basically when Jones does his right kick, he's basically safe from the left hand, from the left straight, because he'll go all the way over and he'll be protecting himself with the left shoulder, right? So he's almost fighting southpaw and southpaw at that point if he continues that kick all the way.
Especially because Jones is so comfortable switching stances.
Right, and the main reason why southpaws are so good is because they have that open engagement and they fought so many orthodox, so they're really good at able to snipe that left hand.
Because in the open engagement, you can hit the rear hand a lot more easily than you can when you have a closed engagement. And an open engagement just means that there's a southpaw, a left-handed fighter with their left hand back, versus an orthodox who has their right hand back. Yep. And unfortunately for Reyes, Jones is also incredibly good and will actually seek out an open engagement even against southpaws. And he does a great job where essentially the starting movement for a punch, a high kick, and a low kick, from a rear high kick and a rear
just rear stuff, yeah.
Yeah, just butt stuff, you know? But everything that comes from the back right side in the open engagement kind of looks the same, and Jones is actually really good at doing the straight, the body kick, and the high kick. And I think he's actually better than Reyes at this specific combo.
Which is actually really sad.
Which is really scary because this is Reyes' best threat and best weapon against Jones. So I think that Jones' main path to victory is going to be to use that knee tap to come up to the clinch, shoulder wrench Reyes.
To be honest, I think that Reyes is going to have a really, really hard time being able to keep up the constant pressure that Jones that he needs to get into range, whether that's leg kicks, whether that's punches, whatever it is. I think that Reyes is going to get picked apart from the outside, to be quite frank with you.
Yeah.
Like he has so much ground to cover, and I think that
Jones is so good at pot shotting leg kicks.
And also, like, Jones's, like, mental fortitude to be able to withstand pressure, to withstand people that have tremendous power. He's very, very calm. And he's shown throughout the whole entire fight camp, throughout the embedded series and all that, whatever credence you want to give that, he's been nothing but a killer, a straight up cold killer.
And he's always has been ready to go 5 rounds.
Yeah.
That's the other big difference as well. And that's the other big key for Jones in this fight. Reyes has been putting everything mentally into getting a quick or big knockout, right? Yeah. A big moment. So I think we'll see. And Jones has even talked about it on Embedded. He's coming in lighter. He's coming in very well conditioned, and he wants to drag Reyes into deep water.
Yes.
So I think you're going to see Jones stay on the outside, aside from the knee tap and trying to take away the shoulder clinch, or take away Reyes' left hand with the shoulder wrench. After that, you're going to see Jones basically pot shot Reyes' legs, try to tire him out, try to break him mentally so that he sees, oh, wait, I'm facing adversity. Oh, wait, this isn't how I thought this moment was going to go. And then you're going to see Jones really turn up the pace because he's one of the few MMA fighters that will actually vary their output substantially as the fight goes on. Yeah. Kind of like Floyd Mayweather likes to do in boxing. Right. He'll take the first few rounds to figure somebody out, then he'll turn it up if he sees an opportunity to finish. Jones will take the first 2-3 rounds sometimes to feel out the other fighter, to damage them, to inflict an accumulation of injuries to their legs, to their body, tire them out, break them mentally.
And then he'll go for the finish.
Which is what you saw him do exactly against Gustafsson. Yeah. Like, this strategy that I'm describing is the same strategy he used in the Gustafsson rematch and why he took him out so fast. He knee tapped to shoulder clinch, hurt him, then picked him apart on the feet with a ton of leg kicks, basically broke Gustafsson, and then the third round completely changed his rhythm and was a lot higher output, shot and really committed on takedown, ground and pound.
And I think the key of Jon Jones is the fact that he is versatile. Mm-hmm. He has a mind for fighting. He's he has a very high fight IQ. And when things aren't going his way, like the Santos fight, right? Like
the first
Gustafsson, right? He found a way to, this wasn't part of the game plan, now let's try to redirect, let's try to turn around and have a new game plan on the fly. And I think he's probably one of the best fighters that can do that. Yeah. Can adapt so easily on the click of a hat.
And on top of that, he's from one of the best game planning camps. You can criticize a lot of what the camps teach and Winkeljohn's striking approach and stuff like that. But what they are good at is looking at patterns of the fighters that they're coming up for when they have readable patterns, like DC, when Jones was able to head kick him in the rematch because DC had a predictable response to a straight left. So now the issue is Reyes has a couple of exploitable patterns that he likes to go to consistently in specific situations. When he feels pressured in the clinch, he likes to shell up. And it's actually really kind of a unique and cool approach to close range fighting MMA, and it's how he finished Cannonier. He shells up with a high elbow, high shoulder, and almost starts to turn his back to his opponent, so then he can do almost like a Mayweather roll and pitch back with the uppercut, which is how he started the end of Cannonier. The problem is when he's doing that, if he's fighting someone who prefers to not strike his opponent in the clinch but shoot for a takedown or grab or anything like that, he's actually leaving his waist open for a super simple takedown where you just gable grip around their waist and just drop behind them to a super simple trip. And Jones is one of the best ground and pounders in the game, and you see him go for this. This is one of his money, bread and butter takedowns he'll shoot for. He just will wrap his hands around the opponent and just drop him over his leg. And there's no way Jones camp hasn't seen this same pattern from...
If a couple of idiots like us saw it, there's no way Jones didn't see it.
There's no way Jones hasn't seen it. And I wouldn't even be surprised, because the whole reason this works is if Reyes is able to actually circle out correctly. I wouldn't be surprised if Jones is actually able to either circle with him and land a high kick, because Reyes doesn't actually defend his left side. Yeah. He only defense is that if he circles out correctly. So I wouldn't be surprised if Jones is able to land the high kick. I wouldn't be surprised if Jones is able to land a stepping elbow. Or, like I said before, I think the most likely outcome, round 3, Jones shoots a takedown to a TKO a la Gustafsson.
Yeah. So tomorrow we're gonna give our predictions of who we think we're gonna win and all that stuff like that.
Damn it! But full predictions tomorrow on who we think will win. This wasn't my prediction. It was just Jones's path to victory.
All right, so stay tuned, guys. We love you. Take care.
Well.